gentlemen, please provide a warm welcome for your Planet Primus, Master of Ceremonies, Mr. Tony Roberts, Kyle Fender, and Noah Darty.
Good morning, Gainesville! Now, wait. The judges are awake. You in the crowd are not awake. I said good morning, Gainesville! That's better. Okay, calm down, judges, now. All right. Save some energy, all right. We had a great day yesterday, a great long day. Thank you for your gracious professionalism, both on and off the field. Keep it up today as the competition intensifies. I have one GP story that I'm going to be sharing. This is a special shout out to one of our friends from out of town. I was told that they did a lot of work to get us our practice field that I'm sure all of you teams are enjoying back there. That is 1747 from Indiana. Special shout out and thank you. Now remember, regardless of how you're doing today, I hope you realize the bigger picture here. First is not about the competition and what happens on the field. It's about building the future, right? You're building your community, and most importantly, you're building leaders in yourselves.
And I was thinking about it yesterday, how I was a student in 2009, and I remember just sitting in these seats, just somewhere like right about here. And I remember the first video that they showed, and it was about the game Lunacy. And the thing about that game was they had an intro video, just like we saw here. And the thing about that video was that they displayed the fact that the average age of the NASA engineers that got us to the moon in 1969 was 28, which means, if you do the math, that means when they got the challenge from President Kennedy, they were 18 years old. So let me see, raise a hand. How many seniors do we have in here? Right about 18 years old? This is about the age that you would have gotten that challenge. And if you think about it, the things that they did during that time that propelled us to a whole new frontier, they did that at 18. So think about it, with what you guys are doing, it's so much of a larger scale. This is global. FIRST is a global organization. Think about the brain power that is assembled, not just here in this field house, but all around the FIRST community and all 4 of our different organizations. And it blew my mind then in 2009, and that's why I'm still here in 2019. So give yourselves a round of applause, because you guys are in one of the greatest successful experiments with FIRST Robotics.
Absolutely. Keep in mind today, no matter how the day plays out for you, win or lose, remember that it's all part of the larger journey you're on as part of FIRST. And once again, for this competition we have, thanks to our season-long sponsor, the Boeing Company. Give it up for Boeing one more time.
So, our first guest of the day, I want to introduce to you the president of the GeorgiaFIRST Board of Directors and in technical marketing at Automation Direct, our president, Mr. Chip McDaniel.
Good morning, FRC. Is this thing on? There we go. On behalf of our board of directors, I'd like to welcome everybody to the Gainesville district event. It sounds like we've got maybe 3 categories of teams that are here. We've got some teams from out of state. Let's welcome our teams that are from out of Georgia. And we're so pleased in Georgia this year to have 10 rookie teams. Let's hear it for our rookies. And last but not least, the 75 veteran teams that have been around for quite a few years making this all happen. Let's hear it for those 75 veterans. All right. So 4 years ago, we embarked on the district mission. We kind of questioned our sanity, but I think at this point we can say that it's been a pretty rousing success. And we're really pleased with the way this has worked out. The teams are getting a lot more plays. You guys are able to come to 2 qualifiers. Hopefully you're going to make it to state. Who's going to see me in Emerson, Georgia for state? Well, I'll be there. I hope you guys are too. We've had some amazing success over these years. Culminating with a real hot spot last year at Houston, and a lot of you may know that we got a team up to the chairmans at the world level last year, and that's just phenomenal. our hats are off literally to Cal Robotics for that achievement. Let's see, kind of gave me a bunch of talking points. I'm trying to remember what the rest of them are. Well, let's let that be all for with my Georgia First hat on. I'm going to do the quick hat change here and speak for Automation Direct. So we're a sponsor. You guys may know we put a voucher in all of your kits. You can get some free parts from us. I've got a table set up back in the corner over here. I'd love to talk to each and every one of you, let you know some of the cool new stuff we have this year, some of the great old stuff that we've been selling for years, and tell you how you can get some of it for free. So please stop by and see me if you haven't done so already. And good luck out there today.
Thank you. Now, we've said before what a critical role the volunteers are to events and our program. When we see alumni come up through the FIRST program and then turn into volunteers, we know that we are successful in instilling those values of giving back. One such volunteer that's here this weekend is a perfect example of that, and she's going to come out and share a little bit about her journey. Please give a warm welcome to this volunteer, Ms. Radhika Raja from FRC 3815, and of course a referee at today's event.
All right, good morning everybody. I got my start with FIRST Robotics my freshman year of high school on my school's FRC team. I graduated from Team 3815, which is North Forsyth High School. I was president of my FRC team junior year of high school, and then chapter president senior year. That taught me people, time management, and other skills that would last me a lifetime. While I was a senior in high school, I began mentoring FTC Team 12420, and that is when I knew that I wanted to do more than compete at competitions. I knew that I wanted to do more, or something about helping students younger than me achieve their goals felt great. Knowing that I made a difference in even one student's life was a reward in itself. That same year, I began volunteering at FRC and FTC events. It takes a lot of hard work and commitment, but it is well worth it in the end. When I first started volunteering, I never thought that one single person could make such a big difference in the lives of students. I realize now that every volunteer has an impact, whether they know it or not. Because of my involvement with FIRST, I received a FIRST scholarship my freshman year of college. FIRST inspired me to pursue my dreams by going to college and studying computer science at the University of North Georgia. If I hadn't been on a FIRST team in high school, I never would have found my passion or the resources to go after it. FIRST has given me lifelong connections, important work skills, and a sense of accomplishment when I give back to the community that gave so much to me. When you graduate high school and begin to miss your glory days with FIRST, volunteer. To give back what was given to me makes a difference to the next generation of FIRST robotics students.
So we couldn't do this without the wonderful support of our sponsors. They see our belief in you guys. They see our passion for what you guys are about to do. And they've just wanted to join with us ever since. A lot of these people that you see here, whether they be judges or volunteers, some of them may be vendors, but some of them, it's their first time here. And they love what they've seen. And one of those people is from a wonderful sponsor of ours. So let me introduce to you Mr. Brian Vallejo, IT partner to Software and Global Professional Services at NCR Corporation.
Thank you. Good morning. Wow, thank you all for being here. Thank you for doing what you do. This is amazing to me. I really appreciate the opportunity to get to do this. I want to prove to everybody that I work with, my family and stuff. All right, everybody, give me something to smile. Right on. Thank you. Hold on. Come back. Do it again. I can do this. I think. Technology and stuff. There we go. Awesome. Thank you. I'll tweet that and stuff. This is so great. So on behalf of NCR and the NCR Foundation, the 34,000 employees of NCR around the world. Thank you for doing this. Thank you for allowing us to participate. NCR is a really neat company. You probably don't even know what we do or where we are, but if you've used a debit card or a credit card, you've likely touched one of our devices, software solutions, everywhere around the world. We're in 174 countries. We produce ATMs, point-of-sale devices, gas pump heads. Basically anywhere you slide a card, it's likely an NCR device. In order to do that, I get the opportunity to support our labs. We have 67,000 lab devices in 78 locations around the world, and lots of people doing exactly what you're doing here to support those and make them work every day, every time you want to make a transaction. So there are jobs out there doing exactly what you're doing, and it just really makes me happy to understand how many people there are right here doing this and making it work. Come work for me. This is going to be awesome. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we're going to meet some of our groups of volunteers this morning, starting with probably the most awake group for some reason. That's our judges down here in front. Good morning, judges.
Let's not forget about another group of people that have made this event possible, our referees.
All right, and please give a warm welcome and a thank you to a hard-working group of teams that keep our robots working on the field. That's the robot inspectors and the CSAs. These are, of course, led by our head robot inspector, Mr. Jeff Reese, and the lead CSA, Mr. Tim Wheeler. Speaking of robot inspectors, remember as we progress through the day to get re-inspected after your last qualification match.
So there are a lot of volunteers that made this district event possible and honestly make our Peachtree district possible. So let's give each of them a round of applause. And we got a couple to actually shout out. First of all, let's introduce our field volunteers. If you guys are there, just wave. First off, our FTAs and FTAAs, led by Eric, Jackie, and our field supervisor, Adam. Our pit volunteers, which includes pit admin, spare parts, and our safety glass attendants, led by the wonderful Miss Val Strain. And rounding out all of our volunteers, she's honestly been one of the favorite parts of this weekend for me, our volunteer coordinator, Miss Sarah Shannon.
All right, now we want to recognize a group of volunteers and a sponsor. They're here with their amazing resource that keeps not only the field working, but also a lot of your robots working and competing like crazy. That is, of course, our Georgia Power Machine Shop.
If you guys don't know, they've been since they've been a sponsor with their machine shop, every single year they've gone above and beyond and topped every single one of their creations. Even just to make this screen possible, they made an entire rig for that. So really, just give them a round of applause.
And remember, you can call on them with anything that you need with your robot. Don't forget, they're here to serve you. If you got a problem, don't struggle with it. Go ahead and see what they can do for you. Now, what are we doing this morning?
What are we doing this morning? I think we have 22 matches left, 22 qualification matches left before we immediately, I want you to hear this operative word, immediately go into alliance selections. As soon as we give you a list, be ready to go into alliance selections, okay? Repeat that word, immediately. There we go. Once we go into alliance selections, our top 8 seeds will select 2 teams to join their alliance. We will then go into an elimination tournament to determine who will be the champion here at the Gainesville qualifier. Then we will go into an amazing set of award ceremony of sorts. An award ceremony of sorts. I feel like there's some hardware that's still left on the table. Possibly. But before we go into that, I think you have a couple more announcements of how we end today.
A couple of logistics things that I want to make sure we announce. So loadout today will be starting available at 2 p.m. If you want to check in for this early loadout opportunity, you'll need to go to the loadout table, which will be over there by the rolling door, the roll-up door out front here. Go to them and tell them that you want to load out early. They'll give you your instructions. Another thing on loadout, if you're parked in the staging area, that's this parking lot down here that's marked load in, you have to move your car in the lunch hour. So go and move it starting at noon because we will be using that as we get to the loadout area. If you have any questions about this process, see pit admin. Now, one more thing about the weather. So we do expect some heavy rain, maybe some severe weather this afternoon. And just as a reminder, if there is a situation where we need to move and do something, let's hope we don't have to do, we'll make announcements, but our severe weather shelter is in the pool building and Curtis Hall just outside here. Remember to account for your teams. We said it yesterday, make sure you have your evacuation plan and listen to announcements if anything does happen, which we hope that it won't. But before we get to the action, one last thing. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for our national anthem performed this morning by our wonderful assembly of our Georgia First Choir. All right, we're about ready to get the action started here on Planet Primus. Teams come out, power up your robots. We have match 55 down here on the field. And welcome back the other voices you'll be hearing. The voice of Georgia First, none other than Mr. Roy McConnell.
Good morning, Gainesville.
And once again, Patrick Young.
He says the same thing as well.
Here we go, match number 55. We're going to meet these teams, starting with the Red Alliance. And Team 4701.
Team Wire.
In the middle, 6919.
The Commodores.
And down on the end, 6750.
in body.
All right, over on the Blue Lions, first up we have team 4112.
The Eagle Bots.
And their alliance partners, 7060.